In this episode we're going to talk about your shutter speed, or the time that you are exposing for an image. So the time that your shutter is open for is your shutter speed. Not only does the shutter speed play a very important role in your exposure, just like aperture does, it also plays another role, and that is how sharp the image is. So we're going to get Wesley over here behind me to do some running for us and some action shots, and we're going to have a look at what shutter speeds freeze action and which ones blur the action. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off at 60th of a second, and I've got my camera on semi-automatic mode. I've got on the time value, the TV function on a Canon camera, or the S function on a Nikon camera. So that's the shutter speed. So I've got it on a 60th of a second, and what my camera now does is it compensates by either enlarging the aperture or making the aperture smaller depending on how much light is out here. So if I use it at 60th of a second and I point it at Wesley, my aperture is f10, and if I point it back there at the sun or at the clouds, my aperture is f22 at 60th of a second. So the aperture changes according to the light, and that's semi-automatic mode. We can shoot this in manual, but I want to first show how it works in semi-automatic mode. Okay, so Wesley, run back to there, and what we're going to do is get you to jump off the end over here, okay? And I'm just going to follow you. I'm just going to pan with Wesley. Okay, go. That's the way. Oh, good shot. So what I did there was I followed Wesley, kept focusing on him, and as he jumped, I pressed the shutter release button, and at a 60th of a second I've got a slightly blurred background, but I've got Wesley who's pretty reasonably sharp in the image. So let's go to a higher shutter speed, a faster shutter speed, so therefore the shutter is only open for a very small fraction of a second. So we'll go all the way up to 500th of a second, and we'll have a look at what happens. Okay, Wesley, ready to go? Okay, go, run. That's the way. Good stuff. And now what's happening is my image is sharp. Wesley looks like he's sharp in the air, and the background's pretty sharp too. So we'll even go all the way up to 1,000th of a second. So that is 1,000 on my camera. It's 1,000th of a second, so the shutter's only open for a very, very small fraction of a second. Okay, ready? Wesley, you ready to go? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. That's the way. Good. Okay, now he is frozen in the air and there's no movement. What inspires you to get out in the morning and take photos? Each one of these is one f-stop change. Great, love it. Soft light is the opposite. I'm going to go back and shoot at 200 millimeters.